Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Nicholas. Today, I hate to be such a negative Nelly, but it's miserable outside. It's so hot and humid, but I still want to get something done, and it's going to be a little something. We already once this year made over this bed, but it was a spring makeover and I did like a bunch of violas and pansies and such, but it's looking a little bare right now, so I want to add some stuff that looks good now. So let me show you the area and what we're gonna do and what I got to possibly go in this bed so that you can orient yourself to the location. This is where we are. It's my back patio. Here are the vegetables growing. I have a tomato right here. That's the Early Girl Plus. I have some strawberries in this bed, and there's also, well, there's weeds right here. But there is also Creeping Jenny, which is a perennial in my area. So I have, I don't remember, All Star. That's the June bearing variety. And then I also have an everbearing kind, which is Seascape. And as you can see, they are trying to make some berries. I transplanted them pretty late, I would say, into this bed. And then the squirrels have been having a heyday eating the strawberries. And then I have some pepper plants right here. These are just green bell peppers, but wow, this is the best that my peppers have done ever, because there's 2 little ones there, 3 big ones there, and then there's a big one, a little one, and then this is the farthest one along right here. And then you'll remember that we put this arborvitae in this container right here. And then on the opposite side of where we just were, here's my little bistro table with my petunia that glows. This is the Cascadius Fantasy Hot Pink or something of that nature. I have a bunch of containers, but this is the bed that's in question. So I have some Serendipity alliums right here. They're beautiful, like mid to late summer perennials that give you a show. And I have a delphinium back there that I need to cut down because it will like grow new growth from the base. I have some geraniums in here that don't get enough sun, so those are going to come out. This is a perennial mum. This also does not get enough sun, so I would like to take this out today. I have some alyssum, gold dust alyssum, I think, right there. And then the stuff in the back is safe from me doing anything. I have some hostas and some heucheras. And then this is a juniper of some kind. I can't remember exactly what the variety is. And some foxgloves. So really, it's pretty clear anyway, but it's going to be even more cleared out in a second. And I would say that this area right here, you could consider full sun. And then I would say this is part sun. And then anything back there, I would say is shade. So I got a mixture of plants that can accommodate those light requirements. And here they are. Now, I don't think I'll be using all of these because that would be kind of crazy, but you never know. I've done crazier things. So let me just show you or tell you what I got in the stats, and then we'll place things and see what we end up using. The first thing I want to show you, this is the Sunseeker Salmon, and I actually started this, or I grew this last year. I bought it from Strader's, which is a garden center near me, and it didn't come back this year. So, but I want to give it another chance because it's just so pretty. And really, if something dies on you one time, that's really not enough to know anything. But anyway, this is, like I said, Sunseeker Salmon. And it wants sun to part shade, and it gets 18 to 24 inches tall, 18 to 24 inches wide, and it's zones 4 through 9. I just think that it's a beautiful, beautiful Echinacea. And right behind it, yes, you're seeing that right. The last few years, I have had a list of plants that I have not been able to find. So it's just been a checklist in my mind of things that I am always constantly looking for. And we have marked so many off within the last couple days, actually. I got the Kodiak Fresh Dravella out by the greenhouse, the Sun King Aurelia out by the greenhouse, the Little Joe Pieweed, I got that at Oakland Nursery, and now more Japanese forest grass or Hakonechloa. I have some in the secret garden already, but I just want all of them. I don't think it's one of my favorite perennials or grasses, or I don't know what it's considered, perennial grass. It's one of my favorites, period. And it just seems like no one here has them, garden centers that is. But I was at Strader's today and I saw it out of the corner of my eye and I ran and snatched them because I don't know, someone might take them. But anyway, back to showing you what we got. So I grabbed all 4 that they have. Obviously this is really not how they look, because you know how things get stressed in their nursery containers, especially at the end of the season or at this point in the season. But this is the Aureola, golden variegated Hakonechloa. Look, I love how it folds over on itself. But this it wants part shade. It gets 14 inches high and 16 inches wide. And it's zones 5 through 9. And so I'm so excited. I would love to work some of this in at least, in the part shade area. And then as we go back here, I got 3 of these Heucheras. This is the big top caramel apple. And these get 16 to 18 inches tall, 18 to 20 inches wide. They want sun or shade, and they're zones 4 through 9. And I just love Heucheras that are this color because you have like the pink and stuff that kind of like gives you that, I don't know, all the time, like all year vibe. But then it takes you into fall as well with the colors. And I just think that it's a really unique and versatile, what is it called? Heuchera. Good grief. And then these are so cool. So I got 3 of these. These are a Sedum, and they are called Cherry Truffle. And look how pretty they are when they bloom. Oh, I'm excited. And they're like harder than any other Sedum I've ever, I don't know, felt before. They feel more like a like an aloe or like a agave or something instead of an actual sedum or succulent. I don't know. They seem hardy, but I've never grown them, so I can't really say. But these get 16 high, 24 wide, and they are zones 4 through 9. And obviously they want sun because they are a sedum. And over here, I'm really excited about this. So this is a butterfly bush, as I'm sure you can tell. Look how beautiful that is. And you would probably think, wow, that's not going to be able to go in this bed. But you were wrong if you thought that, just like I was. Because look, it only gets 12 inches tall. Isn't that crazy? This is called Little Rock Stars Purple, and it's zones 5 through 9. And I think that it's going to be really cool in this bed. And lastly, I have 3 of these beautiful Japanese anemones, and they are called Curtain Call Pink. And the thing that I like about them is they only get 18 inches tall. So 14 to 18 inches tall, 16 to 18 wide, and they are zones 4 through 8. And it says, I don't know what it says about light. Oh, full sun to part shade. But I just think that everything together is very pleasing, because you have like the medium green of this foliage, and then the anemone foliage, and then you have yellow from in this and in the heucheras, and then you have purples and pinks that kind of just tie it all together. And I just think that any mix of these in this bed will be lovely. And I'm trying to do this fast because this area is in shade right now, but as you can see, it's starting to get sunny. So I need to hoof it if I want to get out of this area before sun is totally enveloped, or this area is totally enveloped in sun. So like I said, I'm taking out the geraniums, I'm taking out the mum, and I'm cutting back the delphinium and probably the foxglove. And then as soon as I get done doing that, we'll place these and plant them. Well, that's not a surprise that I used everything. But let me just show you what I did. And I think it's going to be so beautiful, especially next year when things fill in. But I started in this shady area, and I put a Japanese forest grass back there and right here. And then I did a trio of the heucheras around there because this is the shadiest spot right here. And then I did put a Japanese forest grass here, and then also one there. That one will get the most amount of sun, so we'll see. But I don't want to just have them on one side and not on the other, so I I'm gonna have to push it to its limit and see what it can take. And then I did put an anemone there, and then there's one in the back, but those can do sun to part shade. And then as far as the echinaceas go, there's obviously 2 there, and then there's one right here. This one will get sun as the day progresses, but it will get more shade than the others. So that will be a test to see how that one does as well. And then I put the 3 sedums, 1 here, 2, and 3 with the butterfly bush in the middle. And so when I go to plant these, I will use biotone in all of the holes except for the sedum. Here's a view this way. So it really fills the space, and that's exactly what I want, especially because I'm having people over. I don't know if I said that. I was trying to get this done really quick today because I'm having some friends over tomorrow, and I just want to make sure that it's pretty, especially in the area that we'll be in. I mean, I think that my garden is pretty everywhere, but there's a lot of work that needs done in other places. So I just wanted to focus my energy making the area that we'll be in the most as pretty as it can be. So I'm just going to get to planting these. I'm going to start in the sun so that I can end up in the shade. That sounds like a good plan. And I will be using my auger. I just have to be careful because I have drip irrigation in this bed. And then I will be using rose tone in lieu of biotone because this has the biotone formula in it, and this is what I have. Well, we didn't dodge the sun completely, but it looks so good. It's just so beautiful. The colors all go together, and I like the idea of having everything pretty low so that you can see that this is a tree instead of a, you know, a shrub. If everything was really tall, I don't know, it wouldn't look like a hydrangea standard. And this is the Phantom that I'm always raving about. The panicles are humongous, and it's a real statement here. And now everything under it looks just as pretty as the tree itself. I just think the colors all go so well together. So let me just give you another tour. This butterfly bush is beautiful, and I really, really love this sedum. And then obviously the Hakonechloa. It will, I should show a picture of some mature ones, because they end up like doing almost like a waterfall effect. So they'll like, this will be the, well, it's kind of doing it now, but it'll be layer on layer on layer, and it just is so beautiful. And then the breeze, or how it moves in the breeze, is really pretty. And then I'm curious to see how these anemones do. I know that they'll probably spread because that's like the nature of an anemone, but hopefully it's manageable. I don't know. Their foliage right now is so pretty, and it was really hard for me to pass up. And then these Heucheras are just some of my favorite colors that there is. And that's going to be it today, because I still have a bunch of stuff that I need to do to prepare for visitors tomorrow. I need to cut some stuff back, weed eat, water, blah, 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 blah. You guys know how it is. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd like to know what you guys like what your favorite thing is that I planted today. And it's so funny because when I was telling you at the beginning, I didn't think we were going to use it all, because when you have something like in a cart or whatever, I always seem to buy extra just because I want to make sure I have enough to do what I want, the project I want to do. But I was thinking that I was going to have extra to do other things, because I really didn't even get the Hakonechloa to go in this bed. I got it to go in the secret garden because I want more back there. But I just, once I started laying plants down, I was like, I'm going to use them all. Whatever. It's okay though. It looks pretty. And that's one more bed done, and it's all perennials. And hopefully it comes back next year just as pretty as this year, and I won't have to touch it. That's always the plan, at least. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.